We've all had those mornings. You look in the bathroom mirror, see a pair of red, exhausted eyes staring back, and immediately blame last night's screen time or a bad night of sleep. We tend to view the eye as a passive biological camera lens, taking in light and focusing it so we can navigate the world. But structurally, the eye is the only place in the human anatomy where blood vessels, nerves, and connective tissue are completely exposed. There is no thick layer of skin or dense bone blocking the view of the tissue underneath. Because of this direct clarity, we can watch the body's internal plumbing and wiring function in real time. The microscopic vessels feeding your retina are connected to the exact same network pumping blood through your entire body. When those internal networks start to fail, the earliest distress signals show up directly on the surface of the eye. By brushing off a slight color change or a tiny spot as mere fatigue, you might be ignoring an urgent warning from a struggling liver, a clogged heart, or a collapsing vascular system. Learning this specific geography allows you to see the state of your internal health before symptoms emerge elsewhere. Our anatomical journey starts on the absolute outer edge. If you pull down the lower eyelid, you expose the inner mucous membrane. In a healthy body, this tissue is a vibrant reddish pink. That color is created by a dense concentration of oxygen-rich red blood cells actively circulating right beneath the surface. If that membrane leans toward a pale, washed-out white, the body lacks the red blood cells needed to carry oxygen to its tissues. This points to anemia, a critical breakdown in your internal oxygen transport system, which explains that constant lethargy dragging you down. Moving slightly inward from the eyelid, we hit the surface of the eyeball itself, the sclera, or the white of the eye. Deep in your abdomen, the liver is constantly filtering toxins from your blood. When the liver struggles to process those toxins, whether from hepatitis or a blocked bile duct, a yellowish compound called bilirubin starts backing up into the bloodstream. This excess bilirubin travels freely through the vascular system and eventually seeps into the surrounding tissues. Because the sclera is a bright white canvas, the yellow pigment from the bilirubin shows up here first and most vividly, causing jaundice. Changes in pigment on the absolute surface of the eye give us a direct, visible readout of the body's blood composition and how efficiently the internal organs are filtering out waste. Diving deeper past the sclera, we reach the cornea, looking specifically at the outer perimeter of the colored iris. In some individuals under the age of 50, a faint gray or white ring will begin to appear around the outer edge of this iris. This is arcus senilis. It is a physical deposit of cholesterol and triglycerides embedding directly into the eye's tissues. If fat is accumulating visibly inside the cornea, it signals that lipid levels are extremely high and fat is depositing in tissues all over the body. It is a clear warning of impending cardiovascular disease. Now, we bypass the lens and travel to the absolute back of the eye, the retina. This is where the most hidden structural changes occur. Occasionally, people will notice tiny blood spots in their vision or see capillaries in their eye rupture without warning, repeatedly and for no obvious reason. This points towards diabetic retinopathy. When blood sugar levels stay consistently high, the sugar molecules act like microscopic sandpaper, physically eroding the delicate inner linings of these tiny capillaries over time. The blood vessels in the retina are some of the smallest and most fragile anywhere in your anatomy. Sharp sugar molecules pierce right through these thin walls, causing them to bleed long before the larger veins in your arms or legs show signs of damage. These physical breakdowns deep within the cornea and the retina map to the metabolic stress and vascular collapse happening elsewhere in the body. Finally, we need to zoom all the way out from the microscopic vessels and look at the macro position of the entire eye, resting within the skull's orbital cavity. Sometimes the eyes will appear to bulge or protrude noticeably forward from their sockets. This physical protrusion happens when the body's primary engine runs hot. An overactive thyroid gland, common in Graves' disease, ramps up the entire metabolic system, pushing the heart rate higher and causing tissue behind the eye to swell. The physical posture of the eye within the skull serves as a real-time gauge for the stability of your endocrine system. The next time you look in the mirror, look past the pupil. You are observing a live, visual status of your systemic health. Our bodies are in constant communication with us about internal crises, but they only speak the language of physical symptoms. Never dismiss a pale inner eyelid, a yellowing sclera, a faint gray ring, sudden blood spots, or bulging eyes as simply a sign of being too tired. If these appear, visiting a medical specialist is the right next step. Decoding the honest, visual language of your eyes allows you to catch diseases early. If this breakdown helped you, support the channel by subscribing and hitting the bell icon. In the next video, we will look at the specific foods capable of rebuilding damaged liver cells. Stay healthy, and thanks for watching.